Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following episode that you're going to be listening to, it comes from one of our dear listeners. She sent us this WhatsApp voice note. Then I had to ask one of our admins to give us a translation. So this is the narration of that voice note. The message reads like this. Hello Brother Nashi, can you please post for me? Is anonymous. I have my own confession that I want to share with you. Brother Nashi, for me to be able to build the kind of a house that I ended up building, it was because I went and I met up with this other man. This man who gave me all of those charms, the lucky charms. The man was from Malawi. So after he had given me all of these charms, he told me that for me to be able to get the lucky charm medicine, he told me that I had to constantly sleep with men, and whenever I would sleep with a man, I was supposed to take the sperms that the man would have left inside me, and I was supposed to put that sperm that I would have removed from my body in a little container that the man from Malawi had given me to use. So I ended up sacrificing 4 of those men. And my brother, this thing, it has left a bad mark on my heart. I used to work as a nurse at this other clinic. Life was not bad, and at home I had my own little spaza shop. It was a kind of a hassle for me, but the reason why I ended up going around looking for these lucky charms, it was because I was in so much debt, and I had fallen in love with this other man who ended up breaking my heart. He was not the first man who had broken my heart. The first guy that I had dated, and after I had fallen pregnant for him, he kept on breaking my heart. So this thing called marriage, I don't think that it is for me, because I have so much bitterness, so much that I don't think that I'll ever get married to anyone because of the bitterness that I have in my heart. What caused all of this bitterness, Brother Nashi? It was because this baby daddy of mine, whom I used to date since high school, me and him, we used to go to different clubs. So in our area, there was this other club that had been recently opened. That club, it was owned by some Nigerian dudes. So my boyfriend told me that he wanted me and him to go and check out that club. Since me and him, we used to go everywhere when we will be just spending some time drinking alcohol. I agreed. Then we went to check out that new club that was owned by the Nigerians. When we were in that club, that was when I ended up finding out that this guy that I had trusted, the father of my kids, he wanted to sell my body to some Nigerian guys that he had met in that same club. What happened was that I had gone to the bathroom so that I can pee. When I came back from the bathroom, the moment that I wanted to drink the alcohol that was in front of me, then there was this other woman who quickly approached me. And from the way that she approached me, I knew that something was really wrong. She told me that she wanted to have a word with me, but she didn't want to say whatever she wanted to tell me in front of my boyfriend. So we moved to the side. Then that woman told me that she didn't want me to drink that alcohol that was in front of me because of the things that she had seen. I asked her, what is it that she had seen? That woman said that from the moment that she saw me walking away from my boyfriend, that was when she noticed that my boyfriend proceeded with spiking the alcohol that was meant for me with some drugs. I was truly heartbroken. I thought that maybe this was a lie. So when I went back to where me and my boyfriend had been sitting all along, I then confronted my boyfriend. After I had confronted my boyfriend, surprisingly, when I confronted my boyfriend, he did not even deny. He told me that from the moment that we had stepped our foot in that club, there were 2 guys, and these 2 guys who had approached him, they were both Nigerians, and after they had approached my boyfriend, they told him that when they were looking at me, they had seen that I was really beautiful and they wanted to spend some time with me, like they wanted to have sexual intercourse with me. That was when they suggested that if my boyfriend was going to agree, then those two Nigerian guys were willing to offer my boyfriend 5,000 rands so that they can have sexual intercourse with me, both of them at the same time. I was really shocked to know that my boyfriend had agreed to take that 5,000 rand from these two Nigerian guys. From there on, there was so much bitterness that was in my heart, because this boyfriend of mine, I had trusted him with my life. And yes, even though I had trusted him with my life, but at the time when he was selling my body to those two Nigerian guys, he didn't even think about me, and he didn't even think that I was the mother of his kids. So from that time, our love turned into hatred. I hated him so much that I never wanted to see him. Many years passed, even though we used to stay in the same community, but I didn't want him anywhere close to my kids, and I didn't want anything to do with him. He kept on apologizing of all the things that he had done to me. But my brother, I had reached a point in my life whereby I was truly hurt, and there was so much bitterness in my life. Even up until today, that pain, it is still there in my heart. Whenever I think about this story, I get so angry, because I keep on asking myself as to why the men that I had kids with would think of selling my body to those two Nigerian guys. I have tried to recover from this pain, but whenever I try to recover from this pain, I keep on asking myself a lot of questions. And when I feel guilty about the way that this man ended up dying, when I think about this story that happened when we were still young at that time, when we had gone to that club, sometimes I think that I did him good. So after we had came back from that club, I then went to the police station. But me going to the police station, I was trying to seek out my own revenge. As a man, I knew that he loved his children very well, and I wanted to hurt him where I knew that if I hurt him, it was going to be very painful for him. So what I did when I went to the police station, I never mentioned the fact that he had tried to sell my body to those men that we had met in the club. But all that I did was I applied for a protection order. I wanted him to only see my children in the street, and he could only see my children in the street, but he could never visit my children, because at that time I was staying at my parents' house. So this was a kind of a revenge for me, but the bitterness, it is still there in my heart. Then at my workplace, there was this other doctor that I was dating. So me and this doctor, we had dated for a very long time. After dating that doctor, he had a lot of promises, but in the end, I saw that all of his promises, they were all fake. When I was dating that doctor, my colleague, I then got so sick. I don't know what was happening to me, because my legs were so swollen, as well as my hands, they were really swollen. That was when I started going around different traditional healers, trying to find one who could assist me from that rare disease that I was suffering from.